my friends, and welcome to my living room. Today is very exciting because I just finished a series of unfortunate events, and holy cow. I am so happy. I'm so happy that I watched this series and that it was everything I wanted it to be and more. Just to be clear, I have read all of the books. I read them all when I was very young. I kind of forgot a lot of things, but I read them and I loved them, and they were just so good, and everything about them is just amazing, wonderful. And this series just completely captured those books and the feeling and the tone of those books perfectly. Everything about it was amazingly perfect. And I'm so happy. Oh my god. I will say that it is weird. It's a weird style because the books are meant for children, like, I don't know, age like 9 or 10 or something. And looking back, I feel like they're not really for children because they're just like super dark. Like there's a lot of murder, and I read it when I was like 7. Maybe that's why I am the way that I am today. But it's so interesting because it's geared towards children, or at least the books are, and it's very whimsical and like kiddish, but it's also so freaking dark that it just doesn't make any sense. And I think that's why I love this story so much, because it's just dreadful. It's so miserable and unhappy, and just terrible things keep happening. Just the worst. Terrible, terrible things. I guess that's why it's called a series of unfortunate events. Duh. But the series itself isn't like depressing, really. I mean, it's kind of depressing because you're like, wow, these kids have shit luck. But there's so much like humor and cute little things that happen and just whimsical. I don't know. It's a great balance of just terribly sad and enjoyable. It's great. And I think a lot of that has to do with Patrick Warburton's character, which is Lemony Snicket, aka the author of the novels, who's also like a character in the story. It's hard to explain, but if you read the books, he's basically the narrator, but he has very quirky characteristics and he's in it a lot. He basically becomes a character of the book itself, which is really, really cool, and one of the reasons I have always loved these books. But that was one of the things that I was kind of worried about when I heard about this series. I was like, is Lemony Snicket gonna be an actual character, or will there be narration, or are they just gonna completely omit him? But they made him a character, and he's played by Patrick Warburton, which is like the best. He's probably my favorite character in the entire series, and really just like the driving force of why I loved it so much. Not to mention, I just kept picturing Kronk in my mind as he was talking. I can't hear his voice and not think about Kronk. I just can't. But everything he did was amazing, and I loved him. Then of course you have Neil Patrick Harris, who like, he's Neil Patrick Harris, okay? Like, come on. He could do literally anything. He could just fart and I'd be like, wow, he's perfect. Everything about him as Count Olaf, perfect. And then there's the kids. Like, holy crap, these kids are freaking talented actors. Melina Weissman, who plays Violet, has been in small roles. She was young April O'Neil in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think she was in 9 Lives, but I didn't see that because it just was the worst movie ever made. She plays young Kara in Supergirl, but like that's kind of all she's really done. So when I heard that she was cast, I was like, I have no idea what to expect. Like, I really have seen nothing that she does. But her as Violet is so perfect. She looks just like the way that I imagined her when I was reading the books, and she's just like, she's so good. She's so good. Ugh. And Lewis Hines, I don't know if he's ever been in anything. I've never seen him in my whole life. No idea who this kid is, where he came from. Holy cow, is he fantastic. What? Might I add, Melina is 13 years old and Lewis is 15. I feel like I've just failed as a person looking at these children who are way cooler than me. There's just a phenomenal cast, and everything about this is great. And also the way that it's shot is really cool. It's like really, really, really in the style of Tim Burton visually. Like there's a lot of shots and a lot of things that are just, I don't know. It just reminded me of Tim Burton a lot, and that's pretty cool. Oh, also, let's not forget that Sonny the Baby, who first of all is the most adorable baby I've ever seen in my life. Where did they find this child? And second, the voice, aka baby sounds of Sonny, guess who it is? I'll wait. Tara Strong, aka Harley Quinn. And I don't know about you, but that makes me very excited. And there are just a ton of other great actors in this show. Like as I was watching, I was like, wow, this person's in it. Wow, this person's in it. It's just like, the cast is great. Everything about this show is so good. And I just need next season. No. I also have a very strong urge to reread all of the books all over again, which I might do. So yeah, Series of Unfortunate Events is amazing. Let me know what you thought about it if you watched it in the comments below. I'm curious to hear what people think about it who haven't read the books, because I might be kind of biased. There might be some nostalgia going on there where I'm like, oh, I remember this. Ah, this is so exciting. But like, I don't know. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I would love to hear it. And until next time, I am Steph Koza. Thank you so much for watching, and this is Rated N.